cheer on their 49ers here at Levi's Stadium. Will Reichert has it all teed up. And off we go in Santa Clara. Returnable from the 2. Returns looking good so far. They'll begin from the 36 as the return is brought down. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go, set.
Purdy throwing here to start. And he nearly gave it away to start this game. Almost an interception, but instead, a gift. They get it back for 2nd down.
Hey, Kate, you feeling lucky? Well, the quarterback is, because he just dodged a major turnover. That was an easy pick that was simply dropped.
Purdy gets this from the pistol. He's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Now motion him out of the backfield. 1st down throw by Purdy. And they're going to take this in for the San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers take a 6-0 lead right away. George Kittle, the touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
And this is going to be cut in the end zone. Love the aggressiveness here. They're already up 8-zip. To kick it away. Here's Moody. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And this drive will start inside the 25. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Play fake, Jones. And a big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Trying again, following the sack. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get it up to the 27.
Time in a game, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Or in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
With that play clock getting perilously close to 0, Kevin O'Connell calls for a timeout. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Jones. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. That's the Amador. And forget the interception. He makes this a P6 touchdown. Just tried a little bit too hard to get that third down conversion. Brock wanted so badly to keep that opening series going, and that one cost him.
Yeah, I think it's less, Kate, in this case about the throw and much more about crediting the defense who was ready and willing to be opportunistic. Not just knock that ball away.
Yeah.
They wanted to take advantage of that opportunity, and they jumped on it.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Has this at the 6. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. They're out and set. First and 10. Jones trying again after the pick. Pass is caught. It's T.J. Hawkinson.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver could easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
Last two plays have been tremendously efficient for this offense. Get a good gain on first down that sets up second and short. And then like John Madden used to say, boom, that fullback moves the chains.
And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. Sending a receiver left. After the sack, another pass on second down. Forced that to his right. Cover big yards on the right side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first. We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They're looking at yet another first and 10 on this drive. Working from the gun. Here's Jones. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Operating from the gun. It's Jones. And that one's unsuccessful.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over the cover, really forcing the incompletion.
And got a man in motion. Jones now on third down. Oh, this is getting up there. Intercepted again. And the 49ers are finally stopped on the return. But they'll still take over on the edge of the red zone.
Oh, coaches just love that effort right there. Instantly, as he made the pick, everybody was looking for a block and doing their part to set up the return. And I know it pales in comparison to giving up the turnover, but how about the effort on the other side to track him down and stop a potential pick six? I think everybody deserves a little credit on the field for that effort.
Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10.
Let's go now. Go.
Looking to throw. Purdy. Into the hands of Kittle. And he gets this forward to the 19.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Samuel comes in motion left. It's inside the 10. And they'll get this across. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers pick it off and get points on the ensuing what's the old saying, partner? You can't win them all. Third go and a two-point conversion in this game, and that's only the first time they did not end up in the end zone.
I know we're seeing a boom in this aggressiveness and analytics, but I will tell you, Kate, there's only so many plays. I mean, I guess you're going to see more coordinators and coaches spend off seasons adding more and more and more plays. You only get so many reps during practice, and I am curious how many more two-point shots they've got in that script.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Pistol now for Jones. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Trey Greenlaw picks it off. And the 49ers take possession down inside the 30 after the interception. Okay, Brock, now back-to-back drives where they have picked him off. That's got to be a worrying trend for these coaches who know how integral the passing game is to their game plan and their success.
Those poker players, the best of them, when they figure out a tell, they know exactly how to beat their opponent. This defense right now, they're reading this quarterback like a book.
That's incomplete left side. No luck finding George Kittle with that one. So it's 2nd down coming up.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Back to the air on 2nd. Purdy. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. That throw was looking for Brandon Ayuk. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Purdy to throw it. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Let's go.
Purdy gonna go on 4th. That throw finds Kittle. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. It's a 13-yard pickup, and no worry at all on their side from being able to reach that marker on 4th down. That was impressive.
Here we go, shot.
To throw again, it's Purdy. Cutting the goal line. He has the San Francisco touchdown. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just machine. Surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Well, his first real mistake gets intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Bynum.
Those defenders, well, they're just as excited as all of us when we get to see a 2-point play. It's a chance to directly keep points off the board and can energize a defense and give them that swag when the defenses stop them.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. On the return, here's Jones. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Watch it, the crew.
We give inside to Akers. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Tackle made by Jair Brown. They get 6, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
They go play fake with Jones. Has the connection to Hopkinson. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route catch to moving the chains. There wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
On 1st down, it's Jones to throw. It is Cup left side. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. Minnesota spends its 2nd time out here. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the 1st.
Here we go. Call. Up, go.
Jones off 1st down. chops some of the lead off before the half. It's a T.J. Hockenson touchdown. Well, Brock, this one has not been good to them so far, but they are still fighting and able to get in there for 6.
Just a drive that was all about scratching and clawing. As much as anything, Kate, it was just a pride drive to go and get your job done.
He lays out and gets it. Wow, that gets him the 2 points. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. It's Deebo Samuel with the return. He's got a lane up past the 30. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Go.
From the gun is Purdy. This one falls incomplete.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Purdy gets this from the pistol. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's officially in enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down. Play action now with Purdy. Kittle brings it in. Touchdown, San Francisco! The 49ers boat racing them to the halftime locker room. George Kittle, the touchdown! His 2nd scoring catch of the game. And that, Brock, I know you're keeping track, but just in case our audience isn't, his 4th first-half passing touchdown. At the pace he's on, this would be a new record if he has a 2nd half to match this one. So the 49ers once again going for 2.
Let's go now.
Throwing with a blitz on the way. And that pass is complete for 2, and their lead grows further. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. On the return, here's Jones. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Play fake, Jones. Looking out wide as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
He put everything he had into this one. It connects on the deep shot. And he works this to the 38 before going down. Now the Vikings use their 3rd and final timeout.
Watch it, man. Hold on.
1st down throw by Jones. And this throw's knocked away, incomplete.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target and make a play.
Here we go.
Again, Jones to the air. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
Other side.
From the shotgun, it's Jones. He has the first over the middle. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. It's a pickup of 26. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series. Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
Here comes the final play of our first half. Throwing it just before halftime. He's going deep this time. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Out to kick it away, here's Moody. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Looking from the gun. Here's Jones. That'll be Cox. Here's Ty Chandler. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Here's Akers up the middle. And he gets a few on the punch forward.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
2nd down now, 7 to go. From the 48. He lets a heater go deep, middle of the field, and they pick him up again. And Brown has it. And the 49ers take it away once again. The 5th time they've intercepted in this game.
I don't know how many you could have next to you, Kate, that have been in this spot before, okay? I have thrown 5 interceptions in the game, and happened to be our rivalry game back in college. It was one of the most humbling, horrific experiences of my life. Please, Coach, take this player out. We do not need to see another interception added to his ledger.
Pretty throwing here on 1st. Into the hands of Kittle. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You totally flip the field and the tone of this drive.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That chunk with a nice 21 yards. And that's a 49er 1st down. Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
You know, when receivers have room to operate, that's a play that can totally gash a defense. But, Kate, when you get down here in the red zone, it becomes so much tougher because you have a whole lot less space. And, in fact, you'll see defenses swarm like that one just did.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
And that's incomplete. He's going to wish he hung on to that pick there, but it's still going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out, without giving up any points on the series. And instead, well, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on fourth. Purdy looking to throw. He finds him beyond the marker. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 10, and staring at a turnover on downs, Brock, they pick up the first instead. Now it's Purdy. Has it in close. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. Thankfully, only one quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. It's 49ers football, and they are hurting for points. They start this quarter with a huge lead. Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Right, an inside give now with McCaffrey. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The 49ers continue piling it on here in the 4th. Christian McCaffrey, the touchdown. Ooh, baby, Brock, this one has gotten well out of hand.
You think so? I think this is utter domination. Going to be a lot of questions to be answered. I'm going to guess this is a press conference the coach isn't looking forward to.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. On the return, here's Jones. And this drive will start inside the 25. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. He's got a man left. They gain 14 on the play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Jones now to throw. He throws a bullet to the center of the field. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Jones to throw. Isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Here we go. Hey.
He gets it out left, and it's gone. And he'll get it up to the 44.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you're going to make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, and I promise you some money will follow.
Go north south. Go north south.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. He fires one deep down the middle. Oh, no, they get him yet again. Talanoa Hufanga makes the play. And the 49ers capitalize on yet another interception thrown in this game.
You know, my dad was my old high school coach. He's a play caller. He's an offensive guy. And after days like this, and I remember one in particular, he'd say, son, some days peanuts, some days shells. This has been nothing but a bunch of shells for this quarterback today.
The 49ers find themselves in a great spot to start this drive. 1st and 10 coming up. Shotgun snap for Purdy. An alert play defensively there. Got a hand on it to tip it away. That makes it 2nd down.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get 2 hands on it the next time.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Purdy gets this from the pistol. And finds Ayuk complete. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10.
Go!
On the gun is Purdy. Into the hands of Samuel, complete. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. It's a good work to help reset those chains.
And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
McCaffrey will not challenge for the end zone. He loses a bunch here. Minnesota spends its 2nd time out here. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Again, here's McCaffrey. And he's brought down for a loss. The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. So now, here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Here's Purdy. And we shouldn't be surprised as they connect in the end zone for yet another touchdown. The 49ers throwing 6 more on the blowout. George Kittle, the touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. So an exclamation point there. That caps off what, and I think you'd agree, Brock, has been a dominating performance.
Yeah, I would. Really in all phases, too. You know, I thought coming in that this would be a much closer game than how it's turned out to be. And you got to give credit where it's due. This offense has been outstanding throughout.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. On the return, here's Jones. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Finds a seam down the middle. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. They pick up 20 yards there. And that's going to give the Vikings the 1st down. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here.
Here we go.
Pistol now for Jones. And they pick him up again. And the 49ers have it again after yet another interception. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Here we go. 70 Lions.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. That one's incomplete. No luck there. Just 11 seconds remaining.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long. It only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call.
Ready? Go!
Oh, look at this. He's set up to throw. And that's incomplete with 7 seconds left. Time for one, maybe 2 more snaps.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
And this ball's incomplete with just 2 seconds remaining. That one intended for Brandon Ayuk. So that brings up 4th and long.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
All right, this is going to be the final play of the game.
Set up! Check go!
Pretty good to go on 4th. He lobs it up, left sideline, looking for a chance. That was supposed to be a mistake. That's intercepted. And the Vikings see the return go out of bounds. And that is how this game's going to end. Philadelphia is known for having some very vocal fans, and nearly 70,000 of them are letting their voices be heard already. Welcome inside Lincoln Financial Field. Set for the opening kick. And we're underway from Philadelphia. On the return, here's Jones. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Cadence, lock in the cadence, lock in the cadence. Up and go!
Chandler again. And he gets him around 6 there. Sent to the ground by Kyler Gordon. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Didn't get that one off in time. This is going to be a delay of game. Can't get the play off in time, and I'm going to wager the call's going to come in much quicker, Brock, for this next snap. So a timeout comes in with the play clock down to just 3 seconds. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. To the line they go. It's second down.
Go, 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 go. Here we go.
To throw. Here's Jones. Pass his man. It's Addison. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Tyreek Stevenson getting up to track that one down. They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. Motion a tight end left. Jones now on 3rd down.
You know, that is so hard to do. It's called body control. Great positioning to swat the ball away, not go through the receiver, no penalty flag. He's got the body control and, more importantly, the timing to knock that ball away.
Go, Reaver!
Motioning the tight end now. Jones throwing on 4th. He puts some juice on a deep ball into the crowd. Intercepted. Kevin Byard comes up with it. And the Bears force the turnover on the first series of this game. Wow, what an exciting start to this game, Brock. Apologies to the former QB and you. It's not an opening drive touchdown, but an interception instead.
Yeah, exciting for one side. That would be the defense. Demoralizing for the other side as an offense. First salvo, listen, it goes to the defense. And now it really sets the stage for what I love and what you love, Kate. In this game of adjustments, in the game of back and forth, who's going to respond next?
It gets it forward for a gain of 3. It's Stephon Gilmore stopping that play. Minnesota. Timeout here. And after burning a couple early, they're down to 1 to work with now. Second down now, 7 to go. Working from the gun, Williams. Hits his target, that's DJ Moore. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks. Offense set for a 1st and 10. And there to haul it in. He's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone. So they'll decline this and take the results. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Williams on the play action. Escapes the pocket. And coverage just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
You hear so many programs all around the league talk about it's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. Well, discretion, but a part of valor in a lot of cases. And right there, he understood it's all about the ball, and I'm not going to risk a turnover wisely, throwing it away.
Working quickly here. Williams to throw on 1st. Buys time, rolling right. And they get to him way behind the line on this one and take him down. And a big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. These two NFC North teams have played one so far. Couple of zeros on the board. and all set for the second quarter. Bears football. They have second and pretty long here. Buying some time right. That's going to be caught by Everett. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Almost had 6, but can't find him. Complete.
That is such a bummer. A dropped touchdown right in the end zone. We're going to see how quickly he can flush this one. He better, because they got to make an impact later.
Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ballgame.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you can go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
And that's brought in for 2, Brock. That's going to put him up 8-0.
You know, we tend to say this all the time, and I'll say it yet again, Kate. Big targets in the red zone are an enormous advantage. Not many guys can match up and defend someone like him, and no surprise, they went right to him for the conversion.
Well, we knew it, Brock, and now they know it too. That one was on their defense. First and 10 from the 41.
Goldfish! 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 Pass, 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 pass. Out we go.
Now Akers. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
On the move, headed right. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. That is Kyler Gordon. And he takes this one back for the pick 6. That right there, that takes just the right circumstances to happen. But man, a big boy pick 6, Brock, one of the most universally celebrated plays in this sport.
Look at the smile on your face.
I love it. Big boy touchdown. Come on now.
Well, I think you and a lot of fans are in it for the celebrations. Those big guys do so much work, and now they get their chance to play hero. It is a blast.
On the return, here's Jones. Good looking return here. He's got room. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. So good field position to start with for the Vikings this drive. First and 10. Jones trying to get after the pin. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down.
Okay, here we go. Short.
They send the tight end in motion. Caught along the left sideline, but he did not get both feet in. That's incomplete. Brings up third down. So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Looking from the gun. Here's Jones. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Tremaine Edmonds has it.
some serious self-scouting going on right now. What is this quarterback not seeing that has led to these 3 interceptions in just this game? And then overall, what is this offense doing that has this defense clued in coverage-wise to every route combination they're trying to throw?
Goes out of the pocket quick. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down. So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Off the play fake, Williams. Completed to his running back. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains. They have themselves another 1st and 10. Williams from the gun. He's on the move.
Knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. The ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, you're looking at a huge gain.
This finds Everett complete. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down. Working inside the red zone. Chased out to his right.
Red zone defense. It is a part of the practice week at least twice, Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays, because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away. That is a gold star effort by the defense.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Throwing from his own end zone. Fits it through the middle. Space past the 35. And he rips off a huge chunk of yardage before finally being brought down. Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. On first down, it's Jones to throw. Finds the in route complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Operating from the gun, it's Jones. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings chop some of the lead off before the half. Jordan Addison, the touchdown. Vikings electing not to kick it. The offense staying out there. They're going for 2. Again, Jones to the air. And he gets into the end zone. That is exactly why they went for 2 right there, Brock. It's back down to a 1-possession game. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Fielded just shy of the end zone. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. First down throw by Williams. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along your routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. time. Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and, of course, is the incompletion.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. The Bears decide to call their first time out. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. They're going play action. Brought in right side. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Lengthy fourth down try here. They need 6. Sticking in the air, it's Williams. Throw caught by his running back. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10.
Here you go.
From the shotgun, it's Jones. Forced out to his right. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. He brings up second down.
Look at how well the coverage held up on that play. Even as the QB escapes the pocket and buys extra time, secondary, well, they got real sticky, stay tight, and force the throw away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down.
Half 18, half 18. Let's go.
Jones. Saw him call it early there, Brock. He made that throw, and then he signaled it was gonna be a touchdown. Like a guy calling it before his three-pointer goes through the net.
Oh, you mean like Larry Legend Bird in the three-point shooting contest of the 80s?
Well, maybe like a Tyrese Maxey, but whatever.
Well, the kids aren't alive, I get it. And they weren't alive in the 80s. They didn't see Larry Legend do it, but he did. And he anticipated, just like the quarterback.
He kicked the running back in motion. It's caught. And he gets into the end zone. Not a bad way to hit the first inning. Landing an octopus as time expires. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Hewitt with you as we're about set to begin the third quarter. Well, we're set up for an incredible second half. All tied as we kick it away here in quarter number 3. Tyler Scott now to return it. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30.
Hey, we're dead even here through 2 quarters, and you know exactly what that means. That means both coaching staffs emphasize coming out strong here to begin the second half. Well, that return puts you in great position to do so, and maybe even take control of this game.
And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. First down, Williams. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along the route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Couldn't find DJ Moore on that throw. And things look tougher now with third and long. Looking from the gun, Williams. Escapes the pocket. On the run right, throwing deep down the side. Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect. And now they're stuck facing fourth down.
Man, with how hard it is, Kate, to get these plays down the field, can't let the coverage off the hook with a drop. Just can't happen. And you're going to see it right here. He saw the open space ahead of him and started running before he ever brought the ball fully in.
They connect with the post. And they get this down to the 28. They'll keep this drive moving after a big 18-yard pickup on fourth down.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure that drives right on them. Turns out, Handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Going again on second, Williams. Passes into the arms of Cameron Ryan, intercepted. And the Vikings take over deep in their own territory, down inside the 10. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go, hey.
They go play fake with Jones. Catches made down the right sideline. And he gets up close to the 25 before going out of bounds. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Play fake, Jones. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Receiver in motion, going left. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point of the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
First down throw by Jones. Short pass brought in. Racing down the left side. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Speed kills, baby. You better make that tackle right away on these receivers or you're going to get some serious yak. Those yards after catch just like that. Taking a short gain and turning it into an explosive play.
And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Akers does not score. They not only stop him, they backed him up a couple of yards.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
3rd and goal for Jones. And he finds it in the end zone for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings grab the lead on their 1st series of the half. Jordan Addison the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game.
Cadence, lock in the cage, lock in the cage.
Pistol now for Jones. And the call to go for it not awarded as the pass falls incomplete. Here's Riker set to kick this away. And that kick is going to go out of bounds, and you know what that means. That ball's headed to the 40. So march it forward after they accept the penalty. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter. Williams to throw on 1st. Komet brings it in. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. So we're through 3. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Off the play fake, Williams. Flushed out of the pocket. On the run right, throwing deep down the side. Wide open down the field, and he has it. Brock. That was a route they worked on in practice, and it manifested in a touchdown when the downs counted here.
And no doubt about it, Kate, you grew up watching and celebrating Jerry Rice running that exact route, didn't you?
Yes, sir. You know it. You know it.
He was so good at it. Every receiver could do it some of the time, but Jerry and the best of them, they do it all the time, just like that one right there.
Man, this is so tough. You're near the goal line, not a lot of space for your receivers to work. The quarterback, got to have the agency to tuck it and run if need be, but sometimes not a lot of space to do that either.
Got to have the agency and got to have the urgency. The problem, Kate, is the defense right there was playing chess, and you're playing checkers, and that's no place you want to be on offense.
Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Power squid kick is taken in. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
North Dallas. Go North Dallas. Here we go.
He's able to manage a couple on that run. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down.
Up we go.
Once again, it's Akers. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they need the same now here on 3rd down.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign that they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Looking to throw. Buys time, rolling right. And he didn't get enough into that throw. That's low and incomplete, so they can be facing 4th down coming up. No luck finding his receiver that time. And 4th and 4 coming up. He'll throw it. He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. What a call. They wind up with 12 on 4th down and pull off the conversion. So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Vikings want to end it in regulation if they can. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34.
Go North. Pass.
Setting up to pass. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a 1st down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. In the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Lomo.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
Elsa.
They pitch it to him. It's a gain of 4 there. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their 1st. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that 1st.
Okay, here we go. Gold River. Goldfish.
Here he is to throw. He's got him. That's Addison. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. Timeout taken by the offense. Their 2nd. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
Here we go, hey.
Back to throw. Able to find Hawkinson. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They run. Here's Akers. And he has enough room to gain about 4. The Bears decide to call their 1st timeout. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
Why shift the crew? Detroit Detroit.
Motioning one of the tight ends. He'll look to throw it. Finds his fullback. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone.
Well, we saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them. And the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Looking to throw it. Hawkinson reels it in. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal. Now the Vikings use their 3rd and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. They're all set up for the game winner. Let's see how they approach it, starting with this 1st and goal. Throwing here, Jones.
You know, Kate, one of the tenets of the West Coast system that I was fortunate to play in, touchdown rejected.
Guys, I fucked with him all game long. I didn't say anything all game long. Fucking with him all game long. He doesn't know it.
That's a brilliant job by the defense with their coverage, baiting the quarterback into the throw. But you got to sail that one into the stands. Touchdown or check down. You can't possibly give an interception in that situation.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Williams on the play action. Headed out right. And that's incomplete, and it also stops the clock with just 5 seconds left. Not on the same page with his tight end. And now they face 2nd down. Williams from the gun. Allen on the catch. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Slated downs to approach here from the 40. 1st down, Williams. Look out, right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. That's going to do it for regulation, so some bonus football in store for all those fans in the stands. We're headed for overtime. We're still trying to figure out that call that ended regulation. Meanwhile, the teams are set to the kick is away in overtime. Returnable from the 1. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. They're out and set. 1st and 10. First throw of overtime now. He rolls to his right. The sideline, he's got more. And he'll be across midfield and close to that 45 before going out. They'll take that kind of passing from the rookie out of USC. He gets him the 1st. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Hawkins isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
A tremendous call. Perfect timing to blitz the corner, and the result proves it. There was barely time for the QB to set himself up to throw, let alone look downfield for a target before he was absolutely decked by somebody who I think enjoyed that chance to rush the passer. The QBs today so adept at doing just this, buying himself enough time and finding a target. The problem on this one, just not the throw he needed to make the completion.
Buying some time right. Right, throw it deep down the side. Defensive play, jar it loose, incomplete. Roma Dunze, the intended receiver. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
defender's not going to be thrilled. The catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
Escapes out to the left. And he's able to get this down to the 36. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. So good field position to start with for the Vikings this drive. 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Akers. And a decent pickup. They're going to have it up at the 43 after that run. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Go better, go better, go better. Half 88, half 88.
Addison going to motion over left. 2nd and 4. And this one's incomplete. Too low as it skips off the ground.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Here we go.
3rd down, Jones to throw. He fires one deep down the right side. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. He was looking for T.J. Hawkinson. And 4th and 4 coming up.
Hey, half 18, half 18. Up, go.
Operating from the gun, it's Jones. And 4th down, that one won't work. It's incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Like I said, guys, way down to my competition. Undefeated terms. Do not try anything. Ever.
One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
First down throw by Williams. Packers are holding out. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Does he even know we're playing with backups, guys? We're not in the business of winning games.
Now here's DeAndre Swift on the ground. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it.
You finally ran the ball.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Throwing now. Throw wheeled in by Allen. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. This entire contest rests on his next kick. Minnesota spends its 2nd time out here, as they'll be left with just one more to work with here in OT. Important moment as they turn to Cairo Santos. This is going to be a 38-yarder from the right hash. The kick is good. He got it. And they've taken back the lead. So the Bears come away with the win. And they only needed to set him up with a shot to connect and win it with 3. And his aim was true to make it happen and put an end to this competitive ball game.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the rookie from Alabama, Will Reichard, ready to get us started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First run now for Kyron Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Mekhi Blackman's got it. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Now the first carry for Cam Akers. He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for it. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
That one 28 yards on the ground. First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Jones looking to change the play. They'll look to throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cam Akers, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. Jones throwing for it. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Now it's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
They snap it to Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. Throwing again is Stafford. Flush to his right. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. In motion goes the tight end.
Go Cyclone! Go Cyclone! Go Cyclone!
Following the fumble recovery, Jones flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for second and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
They bring pressure there on third down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the first down.
Now Jones. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Now Jones wants to change it up. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. 8-0 our score with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Naylor, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now a 2nd and 10. Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Play action. Stafford. Oh, hit as he throws there. Incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
To the air again, Stafford. Now he'll escape to his right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Stafford now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now Stafford. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Past the 20. And he's...
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we join you from South Philly. close to 70,000 strong, packing Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Eagles. Cameron Dicker has the ball teed up as we get underway. And off we go from the link. This going to be returned from right around the goal line. Great job there by the coverage team. They get him down at the 12. Set to go now on 1st and 10. They send Godwin in motion. Here's Baker to begin with a pass. Godwin working the right side. And he'll get about 8. Most of it coming after the catch. It's 2nd down.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
That's caught. It's Bucky Irving. He'll be out of bounds, but after picking up the 1st down on a gain of 7. The rookie out of Oregon. Second and a yard. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. Open man downfield, that's Godwin. His 2nd catch of the drive. This one good for 15 and a 1st down. From the gun, it's Mayfield. That pass complete to the 40. Sterling Shepard. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
It's like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points.
There's a throw right side. It'll be incomplete. He was trying to fit that one in to Mike Evans. And it'll be 2nd down.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on 1st down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the 1st down here? Or is the idea to just make 3rd down manageable?
To the end zone. It's intercepted. And the Chargers will take over at their own 15.
When you find yourself in this situation, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
Pistol snap for Heineke. Finding the tight end. Here's Will Disley. They'll gain 17 on that one. A very quick first down. Off the play pick. He'll look to throw. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'd say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Here's Heineke. He'll get this out to the left flat. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
When a defense has speed to the ball like this group does, it makes these wide receiver screens really challenging because all those fast linebackers and defensive backs that are chasing the ball carrier, the offensive line are the ones responsible for them, and sometimes that's just a speed mismatch, and they can't get out in front.
So we've come to the end of a fairly evenly played opening quarter. 0-0 is the score. And we're back in Philly in a moment. Now the Chargers will use the first of their timeouts. Here comes 3rd and 6. The man in motion here is Chark. On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. And he's very close to a first down, but it doesn't look like he got there. And yes, they're going to mark him a yard short.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
No movement from the punt team. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. And he's going to have the Chargers first down. They managed to convert. That'll keep the drive alive.
Little test of wills up front, huh, Mike? I mean, who wanted this one more? Who would get off the line quicker? Who would drive the other side backwards? Pretty impressive that not only are they the ones that won the battle, the defense knew what was coming and still couldn't stop it.
Unbalanced look here to the right side on 1st and 10. Throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete.
Timing and trust. Critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. The tight end going in motion to the left. Throwing, Heineke. Yep, the man's bounced it. He's got it. We'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
When you call these double moves, you're going for broke. And you're looking to throw this ball over the head of the defense, so give a lot of credit to the defensive backs. Yes, it led to a completion, but this was not the big play the offense intended when the coordinator called that play.
There's a 3rd down and 4. Heineke. And he's going to pick up the first down. He knew where that marker was and made sure He got beyond it.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback. Getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
2 minutes to play. Still searching for our first points of the half. We'll come back to Philadelphia right after this. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Johnston motioning over. They'll run it with Dobbins out of the pistol. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down. They'll throw with Heineke. Here's a shot toward the end zone. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Quentin Johnston. Touchdown Chargers. Dicker good with the extra point. And the Chargers will take a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. Now it's Bucky Irving to return. He's across the 20 to the 21. That's where the drive will begin. First and 10. Here's Baker. That is taken in by the veteran, Mike Evans. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a first down.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode. And that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
Mayfield to throw on first and 10. This one is caught by Shepard. It's a pickup of 12. Good for a Buccaneers first down.
It's pretty evident, Mike, when a quarterback and his wide receiver are operating on the exact same page. The anticipation, the timing, the accuracy of both the route and the ball. And when they're working together like this, that's the definition of teach tape.
On first down is Mayfield. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
Second down throw from Mayfield. He's hit as he threw. It goes to the ground, and it's an incomplete pass.
The biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. Sometimes he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. The question is, are they going to be able to over...
Oh, the defender able to get his head around and intercept it. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their 37-yard line.
And at this point on the sideline, Mike, it just has to feel like deja vu. I mean, really, the last two drives, same story. continuing to drive, have something brewing, and then you just stall out in the exact same fashion. You can't put the ball in harm's way. You're not going to win a lot of football games if you do.
Johnston motioning over. That one intercepted. And he is going to score. A pick six for the touchdown. Nothing the defense loves more, Greg, than the opportunity to not only stop a team, but turn them back around the other way. A touchdown on the pick six.
Yeah, the defense just loves getting their hands on the ball when they can, Mike, but it is extra special when they're able to capitalize and take it all the way back for six.
These are the ones that rip your heart out on the offensive side. Halftime, coming close, and not much time left as this one is kicked away. Here's Darius Davis to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Oh, he puts another ball up for grabs, and this one's also intercepted. Now the Bucs will take their first timeout. Mayfield to throw it here on 1st down. That's deep for the back of the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end. All right, Coach, second half, drawing near. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. Could not ask for more from that first half. All even as we begin quarter number 3. Davis now to return it. And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Now Heineke. In trouble, and down he goes.
They just have to be better on 1st down. They've got to find a way to continue to operate ahead of the sticks, and I don't mind throwing it on 1st down. That is the best down in football to attempt to pass, but if they don't protect the passer, none of it's going to matter.
That one complete to Johnston. Well, they'll get some of the sack yardage back, but it's still going to leave them with 3rd down.
After that 1st down sack, I think we both kind of looked at each other and said, all right, well, there goes this drive. But a really nice job there in the passing game on 2nd down. That big chunk brings them from 2nd and long to now at least 3rd and manageable.
Johnston motioning over. On play action, he'll set up to throw. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins.
Bro, you of all people are lag switching me? I'm not trying. You don't want me to try. I say don't lag switch me.
The punter remains on the sideline. They're going to line up and go for it on 4th down. They'll try to run. And he's going to have the Chargers 1st down as they find a way to keep the chains moving on 4th down.
This play should always end up converting a 4th down, especially at this distance. But you can't tell me there weren't some nerves on that sideline as they sent that play in to snap it. But fortunately, nothing to worry about. The offense gets it done.
Throwing is Heineke. That'll be complete to Dobbin. The tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line.
The best quarterbacks, Mike, they don't necessarily even have to see the running back in the check down. They can just feel him. It allows them to keep their eyes downfield, allow their tight ends and wide receivers to continue to work open. In this case, nice job by the quarterback getting that ball in his hands and letting him do the rest after the catch.
A gain there of 20. First down, L.A. Now, faking the give. A toss, left side, caught by his running back.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
They're going to motion their tight end, Hurst. To throw is Heineke. His fullback releasing, and he's going to bring it in. And he gets to the outside and takes it in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Dicker, good with the extra point. And the Chargers will move out to a 14-7 lead. After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That's three. Third time tonight he's been intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I think anytime you find yourself trailing in the second half, Mike, all offensive play callers fight the urge to chase those points. They tend to get a little bit overeager. They tend to push the envelope sometimes a little too far. Those turnovers, they only make the deficit.
He's going to be taken down here. The defense comes up with a sack on the final play of this third. Work to do now as they come up on second and long. He'll look to throw. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. That's the safety, Jordan Whitehead. And the Buccaneers are going to have the ball at their own 18-yard line.
Just a brutal mistake there, Mike. I mean, they have a chance to put a late scoring drive together and increase their lead. But now with that interception, all the momentum shifts to their opponents, and now they got to rely on their defense to hopefully get a stop and get them the ball back.
From the gun, it's Mayfield. To the left side, to Godwin. And they will finally run him down.
That's not the type of play that's going to end up on a lot of end-of-the-season highlight reels, Mike. But listen, sometimes those little check-down crossers produce some positive plays, stay ahead of the chains.
That's the fourth time tonight he's been intercepted. Picked off by Elijah Molden.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
Pistol snap for Heineke. And he with defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down. Here's Heineke. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up fourth down. Throwing, Heineke. That pass sideline is caught. Nice catch. Stays in bounds. And he's got the first down. Terrific job with the feet.
Guys, the last time I did that was probably 8 years ago.
Tight end going in motion here. Heineke. His throw on first down is going to be incomplete. Putting the tight end in motion. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. They'll come up to 3rd and 3. They'll throw with Heineke. That one into the hands of Smart. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play.
You're lucky I never use seam passes and rarely use corners.
So here is Cameron Dicker. Dicker, the kicker, in a big spot. This to make it a 2-possession lead. The offense is staying right there. They're going for it. 4th and a couple. They're going to motion the tight end over here. He'll take a shot here. Back of the end zone. That is incomplete. They took a chance throwing it on 4th and short, but not to be, and they'll turn it over on downs.
You give your offense a chance to close this game out. If they pick up the first down, this game is over. But now, after the defensive stop, we're starting to see some signs of life on that other side.
They'll drop the throw. Now, screen set up for Irvin. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this
See,
case,
guys, they want to win the game.
He uses the screen game on first down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
This one is caught by Shepard. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Markham at the 48-yard line.
All right, this is a good start. Plays like these are definitely going to help as you work your way into scoring range. While you have to be wary of the clock and keep an eye on it, they should have plenty of time here to finish this drive.
On 1st and 10, here's Baker. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, The key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. Quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
Second down throw from Mayfield. First, it's incomplete. He did get the pass off, but he got drilled before he let it go.
A great pass rush is like a closer in baseball. When you bring them into the game, it's all but over. That's exactly the case here. It doesn't result necessarily in a sack, but it was the hit that altered the throw just enough.
And that would be the dagger. It's intercepted. And the Chargers will take over here.
Like I said, I never said anybody sucks or is trash, but I do say they're lazy. I'm done. I didn't even want to play that fucking game, honestly.